After those remarks, I feel a bit scared to say anything, just in case I say something and you leave the room disappointed with me. So perhaps I say thank you for meeting you and goodbye. Now, I know we have very little time. It's about 1 hour. 1 hour to tell my story, and 1 hour to hopefully to be able to inspire you. So I will try to be brief, but the story must always be told from when it started. To try and tell you where I am now, you may not get a good feeling or a good feel of where I'm coming from. As a whole, Africa is very much associated with poverty. For many years, we've been talking of Africa being poor, Tanzania being poor, and when you look into the list of countries in terms of income, you find that we are very, very low there. It was a third also from the bottom. Yeah, we are considered to be a very poor country. But you know, I disagree with the way countries are graded. I disagree with the list of rich and poor countries. To me, it's not about the country, it's about the people of that country. If we say Tanzania is a poor country, I think it's wrong. But the people of Tanzania are poor. So we have to distinguish between the poverty of the people and poverty of a country. African countries are not poor, but the people of Africa are poor. If you talk of a poor country all the time, people become discouraged and they say, well, my country is very poor, what can I do? But the countries of Africa are not poor. So I start from there. I was born in a rich country called Tanzania. I saw poverty, which in you, in your dreams, in your eyes, would be something totally unheard of, unexperienced. I was born in a little mud hut in northern Tanzania. And in that hut, it was not only for me and my family to live in. It also accommodated a cow, accommodated some goats, accommodated some, you know what, even some rats and some cockroaches. That's the reality of life where I'm coming from. So I've seen poverty in the proper sense. And I think I'm coming from the poor of the poor. A meal a day was not something that came about easily. A pair of shoes to go to school with was something unheard of. The normal was one uniform, which you could use during the day and wash in the evening and press it with charcoal iron and go to school in the morning looking decently dressed. But I had one uniform. Whenever I was lucky, I had one meal a day. I walked to school barefoot, long distance. So I grew up in poverty. I'm not saying that I'm different from many other Africans. Perhaps I'm a typical example of a poor African. But poverty to me did not mean a problem. to me, poverty was a challenge. The difference is very big between challenge and a problem. A problem lies on your shoulders and pulls you down. And when you go to bed in the night, you can't sleep. There's a problem. But the moment you convert a problem into a challenge, the challenge will never rest on your shoulders. Challenge will never pull you down. Challenge will stay in front of you and you try to punch it. If you win, you go to bed in peace. If you lose, doesn't matter, damn, it's packed there anyway. In the morning, you pick it up again and fight again, try to overcome the challenge. So you can see a big difference between people who look at life as being full of problems and people who look at life as being full of challenges. The winners in this life see things as challenges and they win. The ones who see things as problems, time and time again, the problems pull them down. And you meet somebody in along the particular avenue, and he's walking shoulders down. You say, "What's the matter?" Problems, because they are so heavy on his shoulders. But the guy who is looking at things as challenges, he walks up right down and says, "Well, I have challenges in front of me. I'm going to overcome them." So to me, poverty was not a problem. Poverty was a challenge. But then what? How did I get out of that poverty? I'm not going to tell you things which you don't know of. Whatever I'm going to tell you today will be things which you know of. But there is a big difference between me and you people, you guys. You have just you are graduates and graduates of universities. You are graduates of colleges and universities. Yes, I went through that. But there is a second stage, that is the university of life. I've been through that. You are still now walking to it. University of life is different from Mjue, because then you see life in reality. You see life in real sense. What then did help me to pull out of poverty? One thing is certain. I think my belief in God did help me. If you believe in God and you believe in the powers of God, you will know that there is nothing that you can do, because you know there is big power behind you. So believing God is necessary. That's where you're going to get your energy from. That's why you're getting your push from God. Now, but it's not good enough to say I believe in God and go to sleep and say, "God, please, can you give me my daily bread, please?" It's not going to come. The days of manna are gone. You don't say, "Well, God, I believe in you. Please help me to get some money tonight." It's not going to, or today. It's not going to come. Once you believe in God, then you have to use the talents that God gave you. You have to say, "What can I do?" But before you ask yourself, "What can I do?" there are things you must do to yourself. You must believe in yourself. You must believe that you can. You must believe that you've got power to do things, to make things move. If you're still not sure, then put on R. Kelly CD. I Could Fly. Yeah? Yeah. Play it. He is a guy saying, "I can fly, I could fly. He said, "I can." Yeah? If you want something to motivate you, play the record. But don't jump from the roof. But you know what? you can. So what I tell young people when I meet with them, I say, in the morning after your prayers, say to yourself a few words. I can, I must, I will. Every time you wake up in the morning, just say those few words and you are going to get a push. I can, I must, I will. I can because you are expressing confidence in yourself. You believe in yourself. I must because you must do it to survive. I will is a commitment. It's pointless saying that I can, I must, and then don't do anything. You say I can, I must, and what? I will. Yeah? You get that push. Then you have to look into other parameters of life. For example, now, because I'm talking to you people, upcoming, or entrepreneurs already, and upcoming entrepreneurs, let me just now tell you, after I said I can, I must, I will, what did I do? Because of time, I'm not going to the nitty-gritty of my life, but let me talk about business, because you're here to learn about business. I had no capital. But that was not a problem. That was a challenge. Imagine waking up in the morning with empty pockets, and you say, I can, I must, and I will, without money in your pocket. If it's a problem, if you think it's a problem, you may end up stealing. To me, it's also a problem. I say, yes, I'm going to make it in business. I can. So I identified a small product in the marketplace, which was in great demand, but not available. And it was a ballpoint pen. You know a ballpoint pen? Like big? Once I'd go on the shops looking for a pen, they say, oh, not available, not available, not available, not available. Whereas other people saw that as a problem, I saw that as a challenge, as an opportunity. And I said, I'm going to get involved in ballpoint pen business. I had no capital, but that's not a problem. So, but I said, where do I start? So I was able to identify a manufacturer of ballpoint pens in Mombasa, in Kenya. And because I wanted to add value to what I was selling, I ordered the components of ballpoint pen from him. I had no money, but I was able to arrange for a credit. Somebody was there to say, this man can be trusted. I bought my first consignment on credit, ballpoint pens, components of $4,000. I was given 30 days to pay back. That's from Mombasa. It was going to take about 2-3 days for a load. It came from Mombasa to Dar es Salaam. And I had 30 days to pay. Assemble and pay. 3 days, no delivery. 4 days, 5 days, 10 days, 15 days, nothing happened. But that was not a problem. Then I say there is a challenge now. I owe these people $4,000, and the components have not arrived, and I have not sold anything. So what I did, I went to a big supplier of pens in Dar es Salaam and said, my pens are coming. I'll sell my pens to you in advance. Where are they? They are somewhere between Mombasa and Dar es Salaam. He said, get lost. I said, no. I said, no. But I was able to convince him. He bought my consignment wholly and paid me some $6,000 for the whole that consignment. So when the components came, I had to assemble them. But I had no place to assemble them. So I used one of my 2 bedrooms in a little flat. So my first factory was my bedroom. After a while, my business grew, and I moved into the garden. There is something called hard work. There is no shortcut to success. You have to work hard. One mistake young people make is that when they are employed somewhere, they take it easy. After all, I'm getting my salary at the end of the month. But if you take that route, even when you decide to go on your own, you're also going to be damn lazy. You won't make it. So the attributes of hard work, of necessity, must start at the time when you're employed, if you initially go through the employment route. If you are to look into the history of people who have worked for some time, then went into self-employment, you will find that when they were employees, they were perhaps the best worker of the day, the best worker of the year, and so forth. So the attributes of hard work must be there even when you are employed. Hard work. Then, when you decide to go on your own, the principle which you should never forget is that you start small, but think big. If you start big and think small, you're going to collapse. You start small. That's not the natural way of doing things. The difference is that one is going to start small and grow very fast. The other one is going to start small and become a dwarf. Difference how fast you move up the ladder. But always start small and think big. But when you start, you have to have in mind what I call destination. Where are you going? You know, you share a room with a friend, and one morning he or she says, I'm traveling. And he carries a little bag, say, I'll see you later. Half an hour later, she comes back. You know what? I think that's not the way I wanted to go. I don't want to go this way now. So, picks up that little bag again, I'm traveling, and goes that way. 1 hour later, he comes back and says, you know what? I was going that way. I think I want to go that way. And then she goes that way. 1 hour later comes back, you know what? I want to go that way. You know, if you're good friends, you take her to hospital. You say she's confused. Yeah. But that is what's happened to our lives all the time. People don't know where they are going. They don't know of their destination. The moment you know your destination, you are going to have a plan of life. And every time you make a step forward, you say, hallelujah, I'm making it. I'm almost there. But if you don't have a destination, you will become what they call a rolling stone. A rolling stone gathers no moss. Yeah? Because you go this way, you come back. Go this way, you come back. Come this way. So, destination. And once you agree on your destination, then make a plan of your journey. You have to know where you are going. If you don't know where you're going, forgive me, but you're not different from that confused young lady or young man who just goes, come back, go that way and comes back. After a while, you meet 10 years down the road after university, and you ask him or her, where have you been? How are you doing? You know, I went there, came back, I went there, and I worked for that college, and this company, I was sacked, you know, oh, they didn't pay me very well, and so, you know, at the end of the day, quite honestly, you end up with a totally confused life. So, destination. You have to know where you are going. I said, yes, you must say, I can. But you must see yourself that you are a winner. I asked one of the ladies, I think, yeah, how you see yourself. You must you have a kid, and the child comes to you and says, after school end of the school term, you say, how do you do at school this time? You say, well, I was number 20 out of a class of 40. And you say, you must work hard. What number do you want to be next time? I'm going to struggle very, very hard. I want to be number 5. I said, son, you failed. What's wrong with number 1? So the moment you aspire for anything less than number 1, you failed because you've accepted failure. You have to parade yourself as number 1. You are a young woman and you've got your boyfriend. And you go and tell your boyfriend, I think Mary is very beautiful. You know what? He's going to pack you and go to Mary because you're telling him all the time, Mary is better than me, Mary is better than me. You have to say, I'm better than Mary. But don't take a second position. If I observe young women walking along the corridors, I know who are number 1 and who are number 2 and who are number nothing. The way they walk. The number 1 will walk and you turn up and look. The number 3, number 4 will say. The walk will tell you. There are some are walking with confidence. There are people who are not walking with confidence. The ones who are walking with confidence say, I am number 1. I am the one. But remember, the price you put on yourself, the position you give yourself, nobody can improve it. If you carry yourself as number 2, number 3, number 4, nobody is going to say, come up to number 1. You are in a business venture. You say, I am the best in this venture. I am going to make it. I am the winner. I'm not the loser. I'll give you an example. You take this watch. I'm a shopkeeper. I'm selling this watch. And you come to me and you ask me the price. And I said, yes, it's $100. Your immediate reaction is, can't it be a bit cheaper? That's your reaction. Unless you are crazy, you're not going to tell the shopkeeper, why don't you make it 200? Yeah. You can't tell the shopkeeper, make it 200. No. You may want to ask him to make it 90 or 80, isn't it? So the moment you put a value on yourself, nobody's going to increase that value. So put the highest value on yourself, put the highest value on your ability, put the highest value in your position, because nobody's going to say, go up. People try to pull you down all the time. So carry yourself as number 1. Carry yourself as the winner. If you parade yourself as a loser, nobody's going to say, stand up, you're the winner. No, nobody's going to do that. So if you go into any business and say, I'm number 1, I'm the best. I'm the best, I'm the best, and I'm the best. And then I have to give you time I can't I'm taking too much time. But businesses have ups and downs which you call challenges. Which I call challenges. When you face challenges, don't give up quickly and say, I'm losing. And if you still don't believe yourself that you are a survivor, you go and get a record by Destiny Child, I'm a survivor, and play it to yourself until you believe you are a survivor. Because you should never see yourself as a failure in business. Say you're always going to survive. Let me just touch briefly on the, now you've made it in life, you're doing your business, you believe in yourself. There are things you must observe. For example, your word, always make sure that your word is your honor. Tomorrow is tomorrow. If you make a promise, fulfill it. Some people I tell you, come tomorrow, and then when tomorrow comes, they are not there. If you're going to expand, for God's sake, try to delegate. And once you delegate, believe in people you delegate to. Don't delegate half-heartedly. If you delegate and you're comfortable, delegate with trust. Forgive me, girls, but you cannot be half pregnant. You're either pregnant or not pregnant. Yeah? Yeah? You can. I'm sorry. Okay, you cannot be half pregnant. You're either pregnant or not. So you either trust someone or you don't trust someone. But you don't trust someone halfway. Yeah? Yeah? So you delegate. That's how you can expand. You cannot expand if you are just carrying everything in your own pocket, in your own little head. You must delegate. You must trust people. You must have confidence in people you delegate to. Otherwise, they won't be able to perform because they won't have that commitment. And when you trust people, when you employ people to help you, there are two things you must observe, but in that order. Commitment and competence. And not competence and commitment. No, commitment of that person to your business and the confidence and competence of that person. So if you get someone to assist you, to help you along, go for two qualities, two attributes in that order. Commitment and then competence. If a person is committed, you can improve on his performance, on her performance. But if a person is competent and not committed, he could even cheat you. He will manipulate things because he's very competent. So always look for commitment when you're growing your businesses, and then competence. But above all, the people you're going to recruit in your operations, you must build in them a sense of belonging. They have to say, that's our business and not your business. The moment they say it's your business, you're gone. Because to him or to her, he's no longer a custodian of the business assets because it's your business. But if we say it's our business, it's very, very important. So the sense of ownership, sense of belonging is important, it's very critical. Now, you have made money and you are making money. You have to go back again to God. And you must realize that at the end of the day, it's actually God's blessing. Because you said to yourself, there are other young people you are born with, they are all gone long time ago. There are some other young girls you were born at the same time that they couldn't make in school. You put your neighbors who were born physically incapacitated. So you find the whole environment that made you what you are. You can say it's just a blessing. If that's the case, then you have to find a way of saying thank you. Thank you to God for blessing you, but also thank you to the people who made you rich. My money has come from the rich and the poor. A blind person goes to the shop to buy a Coca-Cola. The shop will not give that blind or poor person free Coca-Cola. The poor person will have to pay for the Coca-Cola. But I'm the maker of Coca-Cola. So when he buys that Coca-Cola, that bottle of Coca-Cola, part of that money comes to me because I made the Coca-Cola. So, but if by any chance I was walking down the road And I bumped into this very, very poor person. He said, totally physically incapacitated. He said, Mr. Mengi, please take this dollar. I want to help you. I said, no, please. I'll perhaps take another dollar from my pocket and give it to him. Yeah? I can't take his money. But in reality, I'm not taking it. In reality, I'm not taking his money through the purchase of my products. So you have to find a way. Look, my wealth has come partly from very rich people, ordinary people, and very, very poor people. Find a way of giving back that little money you got for that poor man. Because part of my core income has come from that poor person. So when you are helping some of the poor people, you are just giving back what you took from them. Once upon a time, they bought your products. So I believe helping the poor, you are doing two things. You are saying thank you to them for buying your products. Can I give you something back? And you are saying thank you to God. You've given me the opportunity to be able to help my fellow people who are less fortunate than I am. But in giving something back to society, it's not just about giving individuals or helping individuals, but it's also an issue of environment and other social responsibilities. You have to play a role in protecting the environment. But number one contribution, if you're in business, number one contribution to environment is not to pollute environment. Yeah? That's your number one contribution. In your business, do not pollute the environment. It's pointless carrying out activities where you pollute the environment, and that's why you say, well, I'm supporting tree planting program. But you are a polluter. So your contribution, number one contribution is not to pollute. And then you support environmental programs to ensure that we leave the world in a better place than we found it. The way a rich person in a society where a majority of people are poor, the way that person relates to the rest of society is different from the way he relates. It's different from the way my American counterpart relates to the people. Here, I'm surrounded by poor people. Yeah. In America, you could live in a place where you see affluence most of the time. So, to me, I feel I've got more responsibility to more people here who need my support. Your population in America is something like 250 or so million people. 300. You have about 4 million homeless people in America. But it's nothing. It's a figure, but very small. Yeah. But here, you're talking of a huge percentage of our people living in poverty. So my attitude in American rich person will show off he's rich, but here we have to show humility because we are just a few who are very lucky compared to the majority. So social responsibility in terms of community support, in terms of environment, is necessary. The money spent on environmental issues, the money spent on social issues should not be seen as unnecessary cost to business. It must be seen as part and parcel of necessary costs to run an operation or to run a business. So don't cry over money which you spend on environment. Don't cry over money which you spend on alleviating the suffering of the poor. You should see it as money well spent. At the end of the day, you must remember one thing. Put this way. If you walk down the street on your own, Bruce, if you walk down your own, Professor, just walking down the street laughing on your own. Say, guys, huh? He's going mad. Sorry, professor. Going mad. But the moment you hold someone's hand and two of you walk down the street laughing, all three of you, all four of you, you're laughing. We shall start envying you. Oh, they are so lucky. They are so happy. Because there is no individual happiness. Happiness is collective. And the more of you who are happy, the better. Happiness is collective, it's not individual. Therefore, in a poor country, you have to do all that's necessary to make more and more people happy. Because the rich are very few. The rich are very few. You must bring this blanket of happiness more and more people. You are still young. I don't want to talk of death, but I must say a few words about death. At the end of the day, remember two things. When you go, you take nothing with you. Nothing. Nothing. Then, what does it mean? It means, second observation, and that is, people will be remembered by not by the amount of money they leave behind, not by amount of wealth they've accumulated and left behind. You'll be remembered by how you used the money you created. You'll be remembered by how you used God's blessings that you got. You'll be remembered by what you did with your money. You are not going to be remembered by the money you left in the Citibank and the buildings you left in Madison Square. No, you'll be remembered by what you did with the money which you made. I believe there are two types of people. One lot of people, when they die physically, the body dies, they die and go, disappear. The other lot of people, when the bodies die, they live on. They live on in people's hearts. And as you walk through the journey of life, remember, yes, you want big money, but yes, think of how you're going to use that money so that at the end of the day, when you go, people can say, yes, Bruce is still living on, although he disappeared 200 years ago. Thank you very much. You cannot go into business without taking risk. But it means, I'm not saying you go foolishly, stupidly. You have to be able to assess the risk. Nobody is going to tell you, do that or don't do that. No, you have to feel it. Sometimes it's just what we call gut feeling. Yeah, gut feeling. And honestly, you have to do some quick work in your head. Should I not? But risk must be calculated. You must work on the risk. Nobody, there is something inside you which tells you go or not go. But the difference between you and a small villager is that you will be able to carry out a quick assessment of the risk. Yeah? The guy down the street, the villager may not be able to do that. But you have learned parameters within which you're going to do something. Yes, there are no don'ts and do's in life, in business. But the biggest enemy of entrepreneurship is something called fear. Fear. You're too scared to take a risk. And you know what? Many people fail before they start. Yeah? Can you do this? And oh no, I'm not educated enough. Oh no, I'm too old. Well, do you know McDonald? Yeah? Do you know who started McDonald? Kroc. How old was he? He was 53. He was a sick man, lost one of his lungs. Many people at that age and so sick will say, I give up. I'm scared. He was diabetic, was everything. But Kroc said, no, I'm going to do it. He was not scared. But the other guy was saying, I'm too old. And Kroc said, I'm not too old. I'm going to do it. So fear of age, fear of this, fear of that, is a terrible, terrible enemy of entrepreneurship. Fear. Fear to start. Fear to attempt. If you feel scared, sit back and say, I can, I must, I will. And you move on. You have to be honest. Nobody should catch you cheating. Yeah? And don't assume everybody is a fool. Don't. If you put up your case honestly, people will believe in you. But if they find an element of cheating in what you are saying, they will shun you. They will run away from you. So be honest. Call a spade a spade. Yeah? To me, best honesty is so important. Yeah? Be honest. Be honest. You can still make big money through being honest. You don't have to go this way, that would make money. You can go straight and still make money. So convince someone. Try to convince, but have your mind set and convince someone to buy your idea. I had to convince that manager to buy my pens, show them, they were going to be delivered. He trusted me they will be delivered. I had to convince him he's going to make money if he sells because I gave him good price. So he bought my idea. Persuasion. There are people who persuade or negotiate through cheating. Okay, you get your way first negotiate first contract, but not the second one. Yeah. And let the person you are negotiating with believe in you. But nobody can believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. Nobody. Go there with confidence. Show that you know what you're talking about. Show that you know your product. Show the testimony you're giving. Show that it's true. Believe in yourself. Believe in your contract, in your product. If you don't believe in your product, if you don't believe in yourself, why on earth should I believe in you? Go there with confidence. And then always say, I'm number one. And my product is number one. Let him buy into that idea, or let him buy into the idea. And with confidence, he will say, yes, I'll take your product. Very much.
Sure, but the most important is the ballpoint pen.
Okay. But let me tell you about the ballpoint pen. You may not believe me. That hand assembly or hand operation gave me my first $1 million in year one.
In the first year?
1 year. It was so stupid. Everybody thought it was useless.
You don't know how hard it was to find a pen made in Tanzania.
But sometimes don't ignore little things you think is too small. One thing, please, you must remember. There is no job or activity for the educated and for the uneducated. The village will make pancakes and put them open and sell them, and flies, full of flies. You go and but for me, I'll pack it nicely because I know the rules of hygiene. For her, she will make a pancake, 2 ounces, 2 grams, 10 grams. There are 10 of them, each one different weights. But for me, I'll make sure they are uniform. 25 grams each, whatever. So the difference between work or business does not lie in the nature. lies in the way you do it. Yeah? With your education, you do it better, more efficiently. You find ways of mechanizing when this poor person will just be using your hands to make the little scones or something like that. So don't shun away from a job. It's just for the uneducated. It's not that way. Not that way. Thank you very much indeed, and God bless you. Asante.
Thank you.